Hello Vipin, welcome to ForumIAS. सबसे पहले many congratulations for this achievement. You must have been really happy जब आपको result मिला होगा. So how was your
Thank
experience? Welcome. How was the experience when you got the result? Your reaction and your family's reaction?
Ma'am, result, I was waiting for the past 1 week, all of us who had appeared for the interview, and it was, means there was some talks about that result will be published around 7 or 7:30 in evening. So around 6:30, I took my laptop and I was continuously refreshing the UPSC website. And around 6:45, the link was uploaded. When I clicked on the link, the file was not there in the backend. So process was they were uploading the file in the backend. So they took it some 10-15 minutes. Then around 7 o'clock, final result published, and my friends started calling each other. And I was the last one to check the result. One of my friends checked. He was saying, "Nahi hua, nahi hua, nahi hua." Then he said, he only checked my result and he said, "Bhai, you have cleared it and you got 28th rank." I didn't believe him. I said, "Wait, I will check it myself because I cannot believe that I have made it finally after 4 years." Then I checked it on my in my laptop and then on my phone. Then I took out my again for re-verification. I took out my call letter, means the call letter for the interview. वहाँ से number check किया तो सब कुछ वही था. That was a very emotional moment for me. All the 4 years of my journey had came in front of me within those 10-15 seconds. कि कहाँ से शुरू किया था और कहाँ पे आके मैं अभी एंड कर रहा हूँ इसको.
Wow, really? 4 years of journey. There is a lot to be known, and we will definitely try to know how was the journey throughout. But first of all, we would like to know a little bit about your family background. Okay, from where were you born, your schooling, your college? How was your life before coming to CAPF preparation?
Ma'am, I'm from Gurgaon, Haryana. My tehsil is Patodi. So my family background is mixed of farmers, teachers, armed forces personnel. My grandfather, he was in British Indian Army, served in the Burma front in World War II. My father's elder brother, my Tauji, he is a retired principal. My father, he has served in Indian Air Force for 37 years. And all my elder brothers, either they are working professionals and two of them are in the armed forces. And I am the youngest one among all the 6 cousins. Now I have finally cleared this exam and I will be joining my brothers in the forces. And apart from that, I did my schooling from first means I went to Ambala with my father initially. Then I till 3rd class I studied there. And after that we got posted to Air Force Station Agra. Till 9th standard I stayed there. I did my schooling from Air Force School Agra. And in 10th class we moved to Tanjore, Tamil Nadu, the dynasty Chola dynasty capital. From there I did my 10th and 11th and 12th class. Then I went to Kota for 1 year to prepare for the IIT so that I can get good college. Then after Kota, I went to Manaroshna College of Engineering, Faridabad, affiliated by MD University, Rohtak. From there, I did my graduation in computer science. Then after 2017, I got placed in a company, but I deliberately decided not to join that because if I would have joined, then I would have lost my chances to write the armed forces exams or other competitive exams because the company was asking us to sign a bond for 2.5 years. That was a very long time. So I rationally decided not to join the corporate sector. Then I appeared for the exams and took me 4 years to finally clear it. It was a very long journey. And there was a lot of motivation required from inner side and as well as from the family side.
Wow. The most beautiful part is that the family support was there because for that long time, sometimes family support is not there and they started asking you to do some other job. It's okay. You don't have to run behind it. One thing you said ki, you decided not to have a job, not a work experience. And one more important thing about this exam is there is a age restriction of like 25 to 26 years something, because of which in very early in life you have to decide whether you want to appear for this exam or not. So when did you decide, and what is the right age to start the preparation for CAPF exam?
Ma'am, I decided to join the armed forces after my 12th class. I applied for ND exam, which I was not able to clear. I was not able to even clear the written exam for that. Then I decided that, okay, I have failed in the ND exam. Let's explore the chances. How many chances do I have to appear to get in the forces? Then I came to know that I have very less chances for NDA. Okay, then after graduation, I found out all this calculation I have done in 2012 only, 2012 only. That when I was in my 12th standard, then I find out that I have 6 chances to write for the CDS exam and the AF CAT exam, which the Air Force conducts on their own basis. So then I joined college, and in college I started appearing for means in my third year of college, 2015, I started appearing for the exams without having a proper degree, so that I can have experience about the nature of the exam and I can prepare for them. Then I did. When I came to my final year of graduation, I appeared and cleared the written exams. I appeared for the SSBs, but I was not able to make it finally. The right age is, ma'am, there is, if I say there is no right age to appear for an exam, it is the inner calling as to when a candidate has to uh, write the exam, or as to when he want to join the forces. Because I see some of my friends have joined NDA right after 12th class. Some have joined IMA after graduation. If the candidate is highly motivated enough and he has decided his career graph, then after 12th class it is nice to join the forces. And then if he is still in confusion that I should pursue this path or that path, then graduation, he is very mature enough to know about his career and his focus, or to whichever way he wants to lead his life. Then graduation is the right age, means 21 or 22 years of age. He can have enough experience of writing. He can get many chances and he can have experience of how to clear the exams.
Right. So it's a personal calling. Yet
Yes,
graduation is a very right age to start. Also, when you were sharing your story, you said you have written so many exams and have seen so many failures, and yet you decided to go on keeping like giving exams and etc. How did you keep yourself motivated throughout that time? Because failure is something many students do not come up with that mindset key. They'll have to see back-to-back failure, and despite that, they will have to keep preparing.
I mean, it's the resilience which we have to show every time. In armed forces, it is the resilience that work for one more step. एक कदम और, then we will हम मंजिल पे पहुंच जाएंगे. तो that after failure, because I know I have no other option. If I don't get success, I will end up failing, and I do not want that thing. So that was the only option कि आपको कहीं और नहीं जा सकते हो तो only walk forward. तो उसी रास्ते पे चलते रहो, और eventually you will end up going to your final destination.
Slowly, steadily, person wins the race. You're really
Yes, sure.
example of that.
The
How to keep
only
moving.
thing is you have to keep moving. पीछे देखना ही नहीं है. अगर पीछे देखेंगे तो फेलियर्स देखेंगे, और फेलियर्स वाला डिमोटिवेशन दिखेगा. उन फेलियर्स ही हो सकते हैं, ठीक है लास्ट टाइम मेरे सपोज आउट ऑफ 250 50 मार्क्स थे, इस टाइम आई हैव अपीयर्ड फॉर 30 40 मार्क्स मोर, नेक्स्ट टाइम थोड़े और इंप्रूवमेंट होगा. इवेंचुअली वो चीज हो जाएगी अगर हम हर दिन अपने आप से सीखेंगे, फेलियर्स को देखेंगे, क्या गलतियां करी हैं उनको अपडेट करेंगे, उनको रेक्टिफाई करेंगे, तो वो चीजें होती जाएंगी.
That's true. That's very true. Since coming back to the exam pattern now, your story was very inspiring. Let us take us to the exam preparation mode. This exam has a very peculiar requirement of having a physical fitness, and that is something you can't achieve in a day. You have to pour some amount of energy every day. So what was your daily routine to keep yourself in shape and to be physically prepared for the physical aspect of the exam?
Ma'am, I did not had very peculiar routine, if I say. Since my childhood, I was always fond of playing. And if we pick any sports, be it cricket, basketball, football, hockey, or any game, the only thing which we require is running. So when I had played a lot of basketball in my college days, when I came to Delhi for preparation, I found out I was not able to keep myself motivated towards my fitness and all. So I found out, okay, running was the common thing which I have been doing in all my sports. Then I picked up running as a hobby, or running as a sport, to keep myself fit and motivated, and that helps me in relieving my stress. So in evening, I used to do running. I had been doing it since a long time. I used to run about 5 to 6 kilometers every day, and I had one of my friend. So we both used to go to the parks and the stadiums in a pair.
Nearby.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's really nice. One way or other, you were keeping some part of physical exercise a part of your daily routine. Coming to
Yes.
the other aspect, that is a knowledge aspect. And if we can divide, it's current affair and static. Current affair is something ki CAPF does not have an exact requirement like civil services. So how were you preparing your current affair paper for the CAPF examination? Since you have been like exposed to both, how it is different from civil service examination?
Ma'am, for my 2020 attempt, I took
Hmm.
all the previous year papers which were on the UPSC website from
Hmm.
2014 to 2019. 5 years paper I had in my hand, and I
Hmm.
point out all the current affair questions they had asked, and I
Hmm.
found out that all the questions are based on the person in news or some specific incident, or
Hmm.
they were on the based on the books like the Man Booker Prize. So one
Hmm.
question, if that one question was asked in 2014 or 15, who had won the Man Booker Prize this year, then I
Hmm.
had
Hmm.
written that point then on the notebook and found out and that who has won this award in 2019 or 2020. Then
Hmm.
same thing, if some cricket award was there or
Hmm.
some Nobel Prize was there in news or some physics
Hmm.
prize. Apart
Hmm.
from that, any means for defense related current affair, any naval ship was launched or some
Hmm.
equivalent award of the armed forces has been given. Like in 2016, Ashok Chakra was given to some army personnel. So
Hmm.
I found out that 2019 or 2020 में award किसको दिया गया है. So it was
Hmm.
all the list of 60-70 questions I had in my hand, and I updated
Hmm.
everything. If we had some major natural disaster occurred like 2020, I knew one the
Hmm.
question has to come on the cyclones which appeared
Hmm.
in the Bay of Bengal region or in the Arabian
Hmm.
Sea region.
Hmm.
So updation was the thing I did. I read all the previous year current affair questions, updated all the questions, means
Hmm.
be it a person in news or Nobel Prize or any other prize.
Hmm.
That was my. I did not had any specific means reading magazine or found doing this from the videos of the internet.
Hmm.
वो सब सोल वही था कि प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन देखो, उनको अपडेट करो और वही आने हैं. So eventually,
Wow.
out of 13-14 current affair, I was able to do 10 or 12 questions.
That's really nice. Okay, you did you search, you saw the paper, you saw the pattern, and then you did your research on your own. This is a very
Yes,
good
ma'am.
story for our viewers to see. Okay, this is how they can actually, this alternative example, how you one can prepare for like current affairs of CAPA. Otherwise, I want to ask, is newspaper that important in CAPF as it is in civil services? Did you had the daily habit of reading newspaper? And if yes, then which one?
Ma'am, I started reading newspaper initially, but then
Hmm.
I found out I was not able to gain a lot from the newspaper. Then I skipped it.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
started reading the current affair magazines.
Hmm.
Then I found out that CAPF exams are not that means the questions are not coming from all the current affairs which I am reading in newspaper or
Hmm.
the magazines. But
Hmm.
newspaper reading habit has to be developed because the essays which will come in paper two, they will all
Hmm.
be current related essays. Like
Hmm.
if I give you an example, in 2020, there was
Hmm.
one report writing, one argument writing on the solitude nature of confinement, something like that.
Hmm.
So in 2020, we had seen that coronavirus had happened, COVID-19.
Hmm.
So it was related to that COVID-19 situation that people was kept in solitary confinement. They were kept in isolation wards and all. So वहां
Hmm.
से वो उसका टॉपिक आया था आर्गुमेंट राइटिंग का. तो
Hmm.
उस बेसिस पे अगर हम लोग पढ़ते रहेंगे उस चीजों को, धीरे धीरे हम प्रीवियस क्वेश्चंस को एनालाइज करेंगे, तो वहां
Hmm.
से समझ में आएगा कि हमें क्या पढ़ना है न्यूज़पेपर से. इन 2018 एक रिपोर्ट से आर्गुमेंट राइटिंग आया था ऑन दी प्राइवेसी ऑफ एन
Hmm.
इंडिविजुअल. तो उस
Hmm.
साल प्राइवेसी का इशू बहुत न्यूज में चल रहा था. उसी साल
Hmm.
जजमेंट भी आया था प्राइवेसी के ऊपर. तो वहां से वो
Hmm.
टॉपिक उठ के डायरेक्ट उठ के आया था. अगर एक कोई
Hmm.
इंडिविजुअल कैंडिडेट इतना अवेयर है कि क्या बहुत न्यूज है जो देश के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है, जिससे कंट्री पे एक लार्जर मास पे इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, तो वो समझ
Hmm.
सकता है कि हाँ ये आ सकते हैं, ये सब
Hmm.
करंट अफेयर हमारे लिए एग्जाम के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इम्पोर्टेंट हो सकते हैं.
Hmm. So newspaper are important to build opinion, which are important in essay, and I think it would have helped you in interview as well.
यस मैम.
Okay, this was really nice knowing. The other aspect of exam is the static part, especially paper one. It's more about having a general knowledge about various subject. So what were the sources you referred, and you can actually give suggestion to our viewers that, these are some standard book that should have been referred while you're preparing for CAPF exam?
I stick only to the basic books of all the subjects. Like for polity, I only read Lakshmikant. For history, I read NCRTs of 11th and 12th class, for ancient, medieval, and modern, respectively. Then for geography, I read only NCRTs of 11th and 12th class plus GC Leon. For environment, I did certain things from the Shankar. That last section means last unit of in which all the international agencies are there related to the environment and climate, like COP21, all these things. That portion I did specifically from the that Shankar IS. For economics, I read Murnal's magazine and videos I had seen in 2019 attempt. Apart from that, current affair, I had already told that it was just the updation part. Then geography is done, and there are a certain one section in which the maths and general ability questions will come. For that, I had done the analysis of the previous year question. कहाँ से questions आ रहे हैं और क्या-क्या questions हो सकते हैं. So I only practice the previous year questions. क्योंकि if you see, there was one question on the age or the number system. So if we know the basic of that thing, तो question हो जाएगा. It's just the change of the units and the data. तो वहाँ से I did the maths and general ability thing.
Wow. So like you were solving previous year question. Did you give any mock paper to practice the paper before actually going for the final exam?
Yes, ma'am. I gave around 10 to 12 mock for paper one. I had purchased some the online courses from the some online institute, means platform they were providing. So I gave mocks. Daily, I used to give one mock test. Like after 25th of November 2020, I decided till 19th December, I have to write one mock test every day or every second day. And I reserved the last week for paper 2 specifically. Last week में I started reading a lot about the essays कि क्या-क्या topics, probable topics हो सकते हैं report writing के, essay writing के, argument writing के ऊपर. So that I reserved for this thing.
The last week you're giving it for that. Yes. So the 1 week was enough for you.
Yes, ma'am. 1 week was enough for me because I was doing it since 2017. Full continuous reading develop होती जा रही थी. Interlinking of topics or subtopics उनके इसमें.
Right. So like unlike paper 1, paper 2 has very undefined syllabus. Okay, you have to like prepare some English aspect, grammar, and the other is to have the essay, like which does not have any syllabus given anywhere where to prepare from. So what was your preparation strategy to prepare for the paper 2?
I did not write much for the paper 2. Means I had not practiced a lot. I read a lot of essays online. Means on Google I searched some essay topics for CAPF. There will be so many websites or the education platforms. They are providing a lot of essay topics for them. So I opened them and I started reading one by one. For that, then I came to know that if any essay will come, you have to link these dimensions in that essay. Suppose one essay had come on the security of the country, then you need to know how the security of the country is concerned and how it will threat the external aggression or the external forces will threat the security, and how that threat will lead to the internal disturbance in the security in the country, be it related to economy of the country, education of the the youth and the students, or be it the health infrastructure of the country, or our international image. So with this one word, all the 4 or 5 dimensions can be interlinked. So I read all these topics online and I found out how interlinking can be done in all these essays.
Okay, so you, before going to final exam, you did practice some of the essay at your own, like
yes,
before. Oh, that's really nice. So practice is the key. One should keep practicing. However, in final exam, there are 125 question and limited time. So did you face any time restrictions while giving exam?
No, ma'am, time is enough. Suppose the commission has decided that we will ask 125 questions in 2 hours. that means that thing is doable. Somebody has tested it, tried it, and done that. And all before me, a lot of candidates has cleared the exam. With me, 187 has cleared this exam. It means exam is doable in 2.5 2 hours. We do not need much time for that. And there are 125 questions. There are certain questions, around 50 to 60 questions are like of the nature that we have to read it, and if you know the answer, then tick mark. There is nothing specific to think on those questions. Like अगर सोचने बैठेंगे तो उसका आंसर आ जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होगा. अगर आता है तो वो देन एंड देयर वहीं पे हो जाएगा. जो सोचने वाले क्वेश्चंस हैं, सब्जेक्टिव नेचर ऑफ क्वेश्चन, देयर हार्डली 25 to 30 क्वेश्चन जो हमें सोचना पड़ेगा. And specifically, ma'am, one thing I want to mention about the paper one preparation, I read there are so many science questions in the paper. So I specifically read 9th and 10th class NCRTs, science NCRTs, very religiously. Thoroughly, I did all from chapter 1 to the last chapter, and I underlined all the important probable questions कि किसी टॉपिक से ये क्वेश्चन ऐसे पूछा जा सकता है. I decided on the basis of the previous year analysis, because 2019 में बहुत सारे questions थे जो direct NCERT से आए थे. So I read all those chapters and I found out, okay, suppose plant kingdom से ये topic से ये question आया है, the next question might come from the another topic of the same chapter, and which happened in 2020 exam कि आया वो questions उसी same chapter से.
Well, this was actually very nice. CAPF asked lot of questions from the science and tech, so people are preparing, focusing on many aspects. However, science and tech is not given due respect. Especially the sources are not like the way you prepared from the basic NCRTs. Second is in the final exam when you give, sometime what happened, as you said, some questions are very doable. 50, 60 questions you'll be able to you know the answer. It's that aspect you don't know at least 10 questions in a row, you don't know, and you don't know the exact answer. Then to maintain your anxiety and motivation level even at that time become difficult. So did you face any scenario like that? And if that is the case, how are you making how are you keeping your motivation up?
125 question is a very big sample space to attempt. Suppose if I don't know first question, second I will be knowing. If I don't know second question, third I will be knowing. If I don't know 1 to 10 questions, there are still 115 questions in my hand. And if I had prepared myself very well, तो मुझे कोई एक भी question नहीं आएंगे. And to clear the exam, suppose this year cutoff is 117 marks. To clear this, we need to attempt around 60, 62 or 63 questions. ठीक से करना है. So out of 125 questions, 60, 63 questions a candidate easily कर पाएगा if he has studied thoroughly. उसने अपने बेसिक्स ठीक रखे हुए हैं और अच्छे से किया है, प्रीवियस ईयर एनालिसिस किया है, तो वो इजीली हो जाते हैं. एक क्वेश्चन नहीं है, छोड़ दो, सेकंड पे चलो, थर्ड पे चलो, फोर्थ पे चलो, तो वो बाद में क्वेश्चंस इजीली पिकअप होना शुरू होंगे. इट्स अ लॉन्ग मैराथन. स्टार्टिंग में वी आर सो डजंट मैटर, वी हैव टू कीप आवर पेस टिल द एंड.
Yeah, that's right. So what was your upper number? These are that many number of questions I must attempt in order to at least have a minimum number of marks. That number of questions a person should attempt. Otherwise, the chances become really grim.
My accuracy was not that high. Means if I had, while practicing the mocks, I came to know that I am not that sort of candidate who will attempt 80 questions and he will do 75 correct. So, and my probable number of attempts was around 110 to 115 questions. If I do it on very strictly, if I will be keeping the count, then it will land to 110. If I will be very liberal while attempting, it will land to 115 marks. So my probable attempt limit was in every mock or all the previous year papers, I was landing between 110 to 115. So I decided, ठीक है, ये तो हो जाएगा, इससे ज्यादा मेरे को अटेम्प्ट कर भी नहीं पाऊंगा और ना मुझे करना है. So attempt was not an issue for me. ये मैम एक इंडिविजुअल कैंडिडेट अपने मॉक के प्रैक्टिस के बेसिस पे ही पता कर सकता है कि उसके लिए कितना क्या उससे स्कोर आ रहा है उन क्वेश्चंस को करने पे. अगर वो सारे क्वेश्चन करेगा तो उस पे कितना वेरिएशन आता है, कम करता है तो कितना वेरिएशन आता है. एंड टू मैक्सिमाइज द नंबर ऑफ मार्क्स, आई विल रिकमेंड कि क्वेश्चंस 115 के अराउंड अटेम्प्ट करे. 10 to 12 क्वेश्चंस ऐसे रहेंगे कि छोड़ने हैं, because nobody knows the answer of those questions. If मुझे पता होगा तो दूसरे कैंडिडेट को नहीं पता होगा, उसे पता होगा तो शायद मुझे उसको ना पता हो. So in average the attempt is around, सबको इतना ही पता है कि 115 तक सब लोग कॉन्फिडेंटली कर सकते हैं. उसमें हमें एक सेफ स्कोर लेके चलना पड़ेगा। ठीक है, आई एम अटेम्प्टिंग 115 क्वेश्चन, अगर 30 क्वेश्चन मेरे गलत होते हैं तो मेरा स्कोर कितना आ सकता है, तो वो थोड़ा प्रोबेबिलिटी करना पड़ेगा परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन के बेसिस पे, कि कितना अटेम्प्ट करना है, कितने उसमें मैक्सिमम कितने गलत कर सकता हूँ एरर ऑफ मार्जिन साथ में लेके चलने के बाद में, और कितना फिर मेरा स्कोर आएगा सेफ लैंडिंग पे। तो मेरा यही था मॉक्स के दौरान भी, आई वाज अटेम्प्टिंग अराउंड 110-115 क्वेश्चंस, the margin of error was around 21 to 27 questions, and I was getting a very fair score based on that.
So it's mostly depends on the personal experience, and that you need to practice in mock exams in order to get to know and at what number you'll be comfortable in final exam.
Yes ma'am, risk ma'am, calculated risk ही लेना recommendable है. If you'll go on the कुछ भी risk attempt करते हैं तो that will end up in failure only. Candidate exam clear नहीं कर पाएंगे. मैं भी नहीं कर पाया था अपने initial attempt में. So वो risk calculation एक initial एक बहुत specific चीज है जो करनी पहले चाहिए exams attempt करने से पहले.
That's true. That's very true. That highlights the importance of mock. Coming to the mock, let's come to the last aspect of the exam, and that is interview. And before that, one may have to fill DEF. However, since every word in DEF is very important because a question can be asked you from there. So what is a word of a caution you would like to give a fresher or anybody who's filling a DEF in there so that they can be careful while they're filling a DEF for the final exam? And did you take any external help, or you did that on your own?
DAF is reflection of one's personality and one's personal experiences. इंडिविजुअल कहाँ के लाइफ में क्या कुछ अचीव किया है और कहाँ पे उससे एजुकेशन रहा है, क्या पढ़ा है. So I discussed how to fill the DAF with my elder brother who is serving in this CRPF as a 2IC. So before that I asked him what I should fill, and most of the things are very basic nature, from where you have done your 10th class, your 12th class, your graduation. In this a candidate cannot bluff, because that is the truth of his life. And DAF or the interview is the डिस्कशन ऑफ द ट्रूथ, कि आपने क्या किया है लाइफ में और आप क्या क्या आपको अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिली है लाइफ में, आपने उन अपॉर्चुनिटीज को कैसे गेन किया है, वो उसके बेसिस पे रहता है. मेरा डैफ कुछ बहुत इंप्रेसिव नहीं था, बहुत बेसिक डैफ था मेरा. उसमें अपने इन हॉबीज आई डिड नॉट हैड वेरी impressive hobbies. I only do reading and running, and in reading I do very specific reading about the gallantry awards, which are for the armed forces or the security forces. That was very specific thing for me, and I do running. So only these things I have mentioned my hobby. Apart from that, there is one section about the some leadership qualities which individual has done in his school or the college life. There is nothing to bluff in this. If one has done it, he may write it. अगर नहीं किया है तो भी ऐसे उसको लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है कि भाई मैंने आई वाज नॉट द कल्चरल सेक्रेटरी फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ आई से आई वाज द हेड बॉय. अगर वो नहीं है तो देन ही विल नॉट नो व्हाट आर द रिस्पांसिबिलिटीज और द चैलेंजेस वन में फेस व्हाइल डूइंग बीइंग द हेड बॉय ऑफ द स्कूल और द कैप्टन ऑफ some college team. Because that aspect will definitely be asked in the interview. And interview panel member, they are very highly experienced people. They interview candidates like us every day, and they will pick out within a fraction of seconds that he is lying on this point. So filling that should be it should be very genuinely written, and everything which is mentioned in that individual has to know about them. Because I will say this thing is DAF is like such, और सच को याद नहीं रखा जाता. अगर if you do certain bluff तो उसको याद रखना पड़ेगा कवर अप करने के लिए. If my father has served in the Indian Air Force and I have stayed with him, then I know कि कहाँ कहाँ हम लोग रहे हैं. If I will bluff it, तो मुझे याद रखना पड़ेगा उन चीजों के बारे में.
That's true. That's a very important thing you said. You don't have to worry about the technical aspect that much, but about truth one must be cautious and careful about, because truth will take care of you.
And in interview, it doesn't matter whether you have done such excellent thing in your life, or you are just a simple boy or girl who has done only his schooling and graduation, and he do not have any extracurricular experience. जो है वो सच लिखो. They will ask very simple questions based on that. ज्यादा बढ़ा चढ़ा के लिखें तो ज्यादा questions उन पे आते हैं, जो कि अगर किया है तो अच्छी बात है, नहीं किया तो फिर उसको फंस सकते हैं उसके इंटरव्यू में जाके.
That's true. That's very right you said. After filling the DEF, like for the interview exam. It's that one must prepare for interview as well. So did you go for any mock exam here at the forum or any other like place? So how importance of mock in your preparation?
Ma'am, the mock gives you the experience of formal talk. Means in our life we are very informal. We had very informal relation with our friends and families. And interview is very formal process. So how to behave in a formal conversation, how to sit, how questions can be asked, how much you have to speak, and or I say how many dimensions you have to cover while preparing for the interview. So mocks are really important because आप पता लग सकता है आपको आपको कितना आता है अभी इंटरव्यू रियल इंटरव्यूज पहले. I appeared for two mocks. One I appeared some in some online institute, and other I appeared in the forum. I was highly nervous before the forum interview I faced in ForumIAS. I was feeling like I should go back just 10 minutes before the mock interview, and I was very anxious and highly stressed. But the moment then I had then the internal talking with myself that I have to become an officer. I had always aspired to wear a uniform and be the leader in the armed forces. Then this is not a leadership quality which I will be showing to myself or the interview panelists, because they will eventually find out that so and so candidate has appeared for the interview, but he's not willing to come in front of the panel. Then I hold on to my nerves and went for the interview. The interview panel are always very cordial. The moment I entered, my anxiety and nervous was out of the gate. The real
Wow.
Vipin Yadav has entered the interview and mock interview was very good. And based on that, I gained the courage and the confidence that okay, now on 15th of December I had my interview. That if I will go into in the final interview, I will do good, because it gives you a confidence. If a candidate
Right.
is not able to perform well, he will get to know that कहाँ कहाँ पे उसके shortcomings हैं. And if he has done very well, then he will have the confidence that I have done well in this one. वहाँ पे भी अच्छा होगा.
So mock are like they form very important part of self-assessment. So one should go for it. And
Yes,
how
ma'am.
your in like experience at ForumIAS, like our integrated guided program, has helped you in your achieve preparation aspect.
After ForumIAS mock interview, I gained my confidence to appear in the final interview. After that only I came to know that okay, I will do good in the interview, because all the questions which were asked I was asked one question on the cryptocurrencies, on the because my graduation is in computer science, so it is very genuinely means it is very genuine to ask these questions from me. They asked me question on the cryptocurrencies. They asked me questions on our data private bill, data protection bill. They asked me questions on the current situation in the this. I say I'm forgetting the word that is blockchain technology. Sorry, I forgot
Okay,
that.
blockchain. Yeah,
About
it's
blockchain
okay.
technology and the quantum computing. So in my final interview, they asked me about the blockchain technology and the cryptocurrencies and the Internet of Things. So I came to know that okay, I had done my graduation यहाँ ऐसे, so I have to do I have to dig in deeper in my graduation subjects, because they have that summary sheet in their hand. वहां से they will see computer science engineering, ये चीजें they are very पूछने की संभावना है वहां से.
That's true. That's actually very. We are grateful that we were help. Like we could be of any help to you, and like we are really happy as well. Ki somewhere your mock interview was on the line of your real interview as well. Was that similar?
Yes,
Your real interview? Okay.
ma'am, it was similar, means 30-40% it was similar, but the real interview was very different. Is a different experience, because we tend to think, okay, this is my interview. It is a very big day for me. I have to behave in such and so manner. But when the candidate steps in the interview hall, things changes all of a sudden. It was very informal environment. All the panel members were very cordial. My board was Surata Mehta ma'am's board. She is very experienced lady, and she just asked me, sit comfortably. We are here to have very formal conversation with you. We will want to know about you, and they give the candidate the choice to speak in Hindi or English. She very frankly told me you can speak in English or Hindi. If you want to switch in between, you can do that. There is no restriction based on that. And then
Wow.
after making comfortable, she started asking me questions. And the real interview goes like a formal conversation. The panel member will give you a scenario like such and so things are happening in the country. This thing has happened, and so what are your views on that thing? Then whatever I will speak, then they will ask, pick out some certain questions कि यहाँ से अब एक और dimensions हम पूछ सकते हैं इस कैंडिडेट से.
Yeah,
So
that's really nice.
generally candidates used to think that interview hai, so maybe it will be a question answer type of session, but that is very different things. Main interview is not like the viva which we used to think in our head कि ऐसा हो सकता है, ऐसा ये पूछेंगे वो पूछेंगे. That is very genuine conversation they used to have.
Little bit an opinion base. It's like they're asking your
Yes, ma'am.
opinion, your
Yes, ma'am.
inferences. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
that's really nice. So that's an insight anybody can take with them while they're preparing. One more important question is that in any interview there is high and low, and it's very important to come back from your low. Did you face any low in your interview, and if that's so, how did you come back from it?
There was one question asked by me, a panel member, that he was asking about the cryptocurrencies. Okay, I told him these are the cryptocurrencies, these are the benefits, this can be their disadvantages to the country. So then he was digging deeper, and he asked me, okay, suppose we have regularized the cryptocurrencies, and still there are a lot of terror financing happening and money laundering thing is happening, and all of them are out of our the purview of the security agencies. Then how will we stop? So this is for this we need very technical expertise, and I did not have much knowledge about it. Then I simply said, sir, I don't know much about it. However, if I had to guess it, then I can say that so and so steps can be taken on it. So they always give you a chance to bounce back. They know that we are grilling him, we are asking deeper questions, and the candidate has a limitation of his knowledge. Because I did my graduation in 2017. It's a long time, 4 years, and they know that itna hi pata ho sakta hai isko. They always give a chance to bounce back. Then if a candidate has asked, sir, I don't know about it, I will definitely go back and know. He will switch his question. They just want to see the depth of a personality. And
so
how
low
the
can come.
Candidate and other thing they check is how the candidate will bear the pressure.
Okay, so this is like very important insight you gave. It's not a test of your knowledge, or it's
Yes,
the mostly test of your personality, the confidence that you have, and how will you carry out yourself with that confidence in future. So this is what they're testing. So low can be actually dealt with, and it's natural to have a low in your interview.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Like it was the entire interview was very insightful to you. We got to know very interesting story. So in the concluding remark, before that, I would like to you one final important question. This journey, this long journey must have like many lessons to you. Any typical important lesson you would like to share with our viewers? Any last moment tips you want to give them? This is something I learned from my journey, and you can actually learn from that too as well.
Only advice I will give is don't look back. Don't take your failures with you. Failures will come in life. Okay, failure aaya, let it go. Wake up next day. Do your daily work. Read your books. Read your things which you have scheduled. Then keep moving. Just keep moving. Don't look back for the failures. Eventually, those failures will turn into a success because they are the lessons which we have to learn. फेलियर आए हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं एक इंडिविजुअली शॉर्टकमिंग्स रही होंगी जिसकी वजह से फेलियर्स हुए हैं. तो लर्न फ्रॉम दो शॉर्टकमिंग्स, उनको रेक्टिफाई करो ताकि वो आगे ना दोहराई जाए वो चीजें.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. Thank you so much, Vipin. The entire interview was very insightful. I learned a lot from you. I hope this is the case with our whole the people with us. Thank you so much for coming to ForumIAS, and I wish you many blessings for the journey ahead. Like after getting into services.
Thank you so much.